Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and I hope that you're all having a great weekend, and welcome to Boilon's Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth channel. Also, happy Mother's Day for those of you who might be celebrating, or to your family who you may be celebrating with, because that's what I'm up to this weekend. So we're here to get this quick video in. Bottlenecks. It's not what you think it is. It is not gold. Now, you guys might remember, maybe it was two videos ago or so, that I did a video on gold and how you could get a lot more of it. Now, as you can see, I'm doing quite well on my account as far as gold goes. But what I'm not doing very well in is the other bottleneck that people aren't talking about enough, and that is XP. Not XP for your account, but XP to level your characters. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. We're going to be breaking down the numbers. We're going to be talking about all the ways that you can get XP and why it's quite insufficient. So if you're ready to go, everybody, then let's boil this down. Okay, and to get things started, what really kind of made me come to this realization was last night, I think it was last night, and I hit level 42 on my account, and then I started leveling up my arena team, and I was like, wow, this costs a lot. So, I mean, I can't show you exactly how much it costs per one level. Well, I mean, maybe I could do it for level 40. Let's just do Uglok, for example. I don't use him in my arena team right now. But you can kind of see how at post 40, how expensive on XP that is. Now, it's not so much the gold. The XP actually trumps, it ends up going more over how much the gold cost is here. And if you see above, I don't have a ton. I have like a third to a quarter of, basically almost a quarter of how much gold I have. And it almost starts staggering more on the XP side of things, which means you're going to run out. You're going to run dry. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So I wanted to go back to one of my other characters who I hadn't leveled. And I was like, can I take a character from level 1, for example? Just a random character. But, could I take a character from level 1? I'm hoping I don't click a button randomly. I can take basically one character to 41. I can't even go to 42, which is my account level right now. But I have more than enough gold to do that. So while gold is really important, I guess maybe that what this means is that you actually have extra gold to then spend in the supply store, because there's going to be this inequity, or you could spend it on rank ups, I suppose, as well, because once you get to 4-star and 5-star, it starts costing 80k and 150 gold. So what I'm saying is that there is extra gold there that you can use outside of leveling, because that's not going to matter. What's going to matter, pointing the wrong way, is the XP modules. I don't know what you should call them, because in Marvel Strike Force, they're called training modules. I'm going to call them XP tokens, I guess. And when you click on them, there's no viable path, even for spenders. There's a shockingly low amount of offers to be had. Outside of shard offers for characters, there's actually not a lot. This is absurd. I'm not going to buy this, but I did get a level 40 gem pack. I think I may have mentioned that was also not super great. It was like 30 Canadian dollars or 35 Canadian dollars. But that was the only thing that I purchased here on this account. And there's no viable pathway for me to maybe even pay my way forward, because the way that you can get training modules or XP modules is basically next to nil. And so I broke that down, and I kind of want to share that with you guys here today. Now, some of you may have remembered my LotR gold calculator that I did for the previous video. I took some of the information from this just based on, how much energy you have, and then I converted it into XP. So your XP farm daily. Let's talk about this. Actually, let's just talk about this, because this is up in the corner. And this isn't necessarily something that I'm personally recommending, but it's something that I'm keeping an eye on. I don't know if it's in my store right now, actually, come to think of it, but I just want to kind of so this is, I think it's usually there. But 4,600 XP for, wait, did I write that down right? Yeah, I did. Okay, 4,600 for 300 arena tokens. Now, the issue currently with my arena, and I'm not sure if you guys are running into this problem, but the arena store only refreshes once per day. And I think I get about like 250 from the daily objective, and I think I get anywhere from 250 to 300 for my payout. So I'm getting a surplus, because since the store only refreshes once per day, I can only do one shard purchase typically, whether it's Shagret or Eomer, per day as well. And that leaves me with bonus tokens. Now, should I be using this on character XP? Maybe. And I guess once we look at the rest of the total, it makes me wonder if this is the path forward, especially for those who are doing a little bit better in Arena and maybe are in this sort of surplus category where you can't really spend it all every single day because it's stacking up. And so if that's the case, then maybe I should be buying this. And let's just jump back over here anyways. And so let's take a look at standard energy farming. So guild energy, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. You can see how this climbs, but it's not a lot compared to these numbers up here where we talked about gold. These are gold numbers. These are gold daily numbers. And you can see how they scale like dramatically. Look at guild chapter 3, for example, on gold versus XP tokens. It's really bad. It's like a quarter. And you can see that yourself, when, or at least on my game, you know, when you go in, because I'm farming chapter 3. 935 gold and 240 XP. So it's roughly a quarter of what you're going to get every single day. And that's wholly insufficient. Now, I get it that this is a resource management game. Trust me, I know this better than anyone. And I was completely fine with this in the gold perspective. But then when I started breaking down the XP numbers, it was actually really, really bad. Let's talk about regular energy. So you're going to get more of that coming from here. It's different, though. How much you get depends on what you're farming. So there's chapter 1, 2, 3, 4 regular, and then there's 1 to 3 and then 4 on hard mode, and they give a different amount of value. So if you see here that this is basically if all you were doing was farming with the 800 whatever energy that I mentioned up here, 868, if you were to use all of that in this one category, this is how much XP tokens you would get, which is not realistic because you're kind of farming hard mode and regular, but it was kind of hard to do that, you know, to break that down differently. So if you were just farming chapter 1, which is very early game, you're going to get about 6,000 XP tokens. If you're doing chapters 2 to 3 regular, which is, you know, a lot of gear farming, you're going to get about just over 10,000. And then if you do chapter 4, which not a lot of people are at, and I don't really farm that much in chapter 4 regular, but you would get about almost 14,000 XP tokens. If you are doing 1 to 3 hard on either light or shadow, which is very common because you're doing that for shards, and we'll talk about that in a future video. We'll talk about that, about, you know, what I'm kind of shard farming and what I have done before. This is going to be about just over 10,000 XP tokens. Now for chapter 4 hard, which I only have like a few of these unlocked, so I imagine a lot of people behind me do not. Anyways, it's equivalent to about regular chapter 4 as well. Even though it's different energy costs, it works out to be about the same. And then I have the square here for like chapter 5, which I'm not there yet. Nonetheless, it's not good, you know, so we could break it down to the total. Now, let's talk about the Battle XP Challenge, though. That's there, too. Currently, I'm on Tier 3, and I just did that this morning. I was not able to do Tier 4 of that. It was actually, in fact, the challenge today, the Battle Experience here. So I did clear Tier 3, but I haven't cleared Tier 4 yet. So I have done this math with Tier 3 in mind. So I just basically multiplied it by 9, because we're getting this 3 times a week, and you get 3 attempts, which means, 9 attempts basically over the week. And then I divided it by 7, so we would get a daily total. And that's about 2,571 at Tier 3. Not a lot. And then so we can add this all up together and then get a daily kind of tally here. And so on the low end, you're looking at about 15,000 XP tokens per day. You know, that's if you're farming like Guild Chapter 1, which a lot of people are, for Ironhide unlocks and for shards. And you're doing chapters 1 through 3 hard. You know, that's what I've assumed, but obviously it's going to be a mix. But there's a lot of characters that people are shard farming from there. And then the higher farm, which I did as Guild Chapter 3, and then again, chapters 1 through 3 hard mode farming, you're looking at about almost 20,000 XP, adding everything up together. And that's not a lot. Now, a couple of notes here. Obviously, I said this early on, obviously people are going to do a combination of hard mode shard farming and the regular mode gear farming, so there's probably less than the above. So you're probably not even getting as much as that's in these 2 boxes here. And it does not include XP gained from account level ups or quests, which I think there's very little of in the quests, or daily objectives, which is quite minimal as well. There's not a lot in there really. And so that's it. That's the total. It's not good. And if we compare that against, and just to take a quick look at my quests, so they are there. You know, in 15,000, that's very important. But, you know, again, you can't just do it on demand either. So 15,000 is equivalent to like a day's worth of XP modules. And that's really important. But again, it's not something, and same with this 30,000. Very, very important. And just like the gold and stuff as well. But it's not something that you can do on demand typically. It's something that you're going to have to kind of wait for as you go along in the game. And so getting this is really going to start crunching. And I guess knowing with this knowledge, you know, I'm going to start buying things in the supply store because it means that I have excess gold that I can't use on leveling. So what am I going to use it on? Well, I'm going to buy shit, basically. I'm going to buy stuff that I can use because I'm going to have all this... I'm going to buy a lot of extra stuff that I can use for my characters that I won't be able to spend on leveling up because I just have too much gold and not enough training modules. Now, this may flip at a later time, but until that time, you know, I'm just going to go ham. Not go completely ham, but I'm going to buy things that I need as I see them. So, that's the plan, everyone. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. It's not good. It's not good. I mean, just let's take a look and compare it to the gold numbers that you guys remember from the previous videos. Early gold, advanced gold, you're looking at anywhere from 79,000 to about 96,000 gold, and you're looking at 15,000 to 20,000 rounding up. XP modules, it's a good 20%. It is basically 20% of what you are getting in gold, which means you have 5 times as much gold coming in than you do XP modules. Those are crazy numbers, and why the bottleneck is not gold, it's XP. We just had to break down the numbers to figure that out because I was wondering where all of mine was going and how I was going to get it. So that's the end of this video, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. The next video coming up should be the Shadow Stat video. I just had to put this one up first. So I'll see you guys then.